Right now, though, it's a pleasure to welcome to Sports Talk somebody we watched all season long for South Carolina baseball, and he did a great job. Not so sure much was expected, but, man, did he turn around and have a great season to help the Gamecocks get as far as they did. And now he's going to offer his services to any of you young baseball players out there looking to refine your hitting skills or your catching skills. Pleasure to welcome to the program outgoing USC catcher Dalton Reeves. Dalton, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
How'd you like that lead in? Was that big enough for you?
Yes, sir. That was awesome. I appreciate it.
Well, maybe not as good as your walk-up music. I loved your walk-up music all season.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I try to do my best to keep him first,
There you go. Understand. Let's talk about the camp. What you got planned? Where's it going to be? How can the kids get involved?
So, right now I'm still trying to get the details together for a camp of sorts, but for now I'll be offering lessons, like you said, and I kind of have put out some things across my social medias on Instagram as well as Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But you can go there and either message me on those platforms, or I also have my email and phone number on my post on those platforms as well.
Is this a sign of things to come for you? Do you foresee yourself as a coach one day?
Yes, sir. If baseball doesn't work out with pro ball and any kind of opportunity I get there, I see myself, trying to make my way as a coach, either at the college level or wherever. But it's really been, having coaches invest in me, and I want to be that person for the next generation and kind of do what I can to help get those kids and the next kids behind me to achieve their dreams and do what they want to do.
So
sure.
when you talk to a young catcher, let's say, what are a couple of the basic things that a young catcher should know as they're developing at that position?
Yeah, for sure. The main thing, a big thing I was taught coming up is, as a catcher, defense is priority number one. Offense is kind of like a cherry on top, if you will. But, if you're a good receiver and you keep the ball in front of you and you have a decent throwing arm, that's kind of the basic fundamentals of catching is I want to round out the whole defensive side of being a catcher and then focus on offense kind of second priority, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And you did well with both. You finished up this year hitting .294, 11 homers, 34 runs batted in. Did you surprise yourself at this level after you were at Presbyterian? You come to the SEC, you come to South Carolina, you're able to swing that kind of bat and also give them the help behind the plate. Did you surprise yourself a little bit with how well you played?
A little bit, yes, sir. If I'm being honest, I knew I believed in myself that I could play at this level, and I was definitely nervous going into it for sure. But I can't say enough about the staff at Carolina really helping me make that adjustment and make some tweaks with my swing as well as really develop me as a catcher. I wouldn't be where I am now without those guys on staff. So for sure, I believed in myself, but I was definitely a little bit nervous going into it and throughout the season. But it was a lot of fun, and it was pretty cool to kind of prove to myself, I can play at this level. I can be one of these dudes,
Oh, absolutely. What was it like playing with Cole Messina this year, watching him do his thing?
Cole is awesome, man. I love that guy. He's the best catcher in America. Hands down. He showed that going in. No disrespect to the guy that won first team all conference SEC, but he was the best catcher pretty much the whole season. And he's a guy that, even though he's younger than me, I was looking up to him basically the whole season. He played in this league. He was All-American last year, and so to be able to come here and refine my skills even more as a catcher behind a guy like that, it was really special. I'm really thankful for him to, kind of take me under his wing, even though I'm the older guy, which is kind of a reverse situation. But I can't say enough about him. He's a great guy. He's a great teammate, and he's really a leader in the clubhouse. And obviously he showed that he's the best catcher in America, and it was really special to work behind him.
And when he put on that hitting show at the SEC tournament, what was it, 16 RBIs and all those home runs and everything else? What was it like being there, either in the dugout or on the field with him, whatever you're doing? What was it like, watching him and talking with him while he was putting on that show?
It was a really special thing. There's nobody more deserving, nobody that's really worked harder, to to go into the biggest stage in college baseball and have the performance he did is just not something that happens a lot. I mean, those numbers are absolutely absurd, and so. And it was kind of contagious, as you saw. Like the rest of the guys, we all started hitting, we all started pitching. I mean, it was kind of our leader was showing us what we were capable of, and we all tried to like push ourselves to get to that level. And so, I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was probably the most fun I've had playing baseball. And so, I mean, it was a really special time, and there's nobody more deserving. I mean, he's a great guy, like I said, and he worked hard. He's worked hard to get to where he's at. And so to see him have that kind of success was really awesome. It's really a precursor to what the rest of his career is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Gamecock catcher Dalton Reeves with us here tonight on Sports Talk. He's offering hitting and catching lessons, which is really, really cool, sort of giving back to the community. And Dalton, you mentioned a couple of moments ago that you wanted to prove to yourself by transferring up to South Carolina that you could play at the SEC level. How much, though, taking your career in total, going from Erskine to PC now to South Carolina, was it also to prove to some other coaches around the country that maybe they missed on you? You were a better player than folks thought coming out of high school.
I mean, in some capacity, I would say yes. But, I mean, for the most part, I mean, coming out of high school, I wasn't prepared. I mean, I was very much a late bloomer. So I was still growing into my frame and growing into my ability. And I'm really thankful to Crocco at Erskine, my head coach there, and Will Kaufman. I mean, they saw the potential and they really invested in me. I mean, that was my only shot coming out of high school. So, I mean, I'm really appreciative towards those guys to giving me an opportunity. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And then to Pollock and everybody at PC, I mean, to take a chance on me coming out of Erskine at a D2, I mean, that was a really cool moment. That's where my uncle played. He actually played with Pollock, and so to be able to go there and spend 2 seasons there with Pollock, I mean, that was really special. That was really cool. I mean, P always had belief in me, even when I didn't. Even when I was struggling to believe in myself at times. I mean, I can't count how many times he sat in the cage with me for hours trying to figure stuff out. But I mean, it was really special, kind of pretty unique, and it's not the conventional route. But I mean, I wouldn't change a thing about it. I wouldn't be where I'm at without the people that I've met along the way, without the coaches, without the teammates. So it's just really cool.
Elton Pollock is one of my favorite people in baseball in the state of South Carolina. What was it like playing for him, and how many stories did he tell you about him being a two-sport star at PC before he went on to play pro ball?
Yeah, I mean, I love P. That's a guy that will probably, be at my wedding in a few years. And so, I mean, I've kept up with him. I've kept up with them, and they had a lot of success this year. And there's nobody more deserving of me. He put a lot into that program. And, I mean, it's hard to find somebody who knows more baseball than Pollock, I'll tell you. But, I mean, he has some great stories. I mean, he's very much a player's coach, but he's also kind of, he's very disciplined, and he runs his program a certain way. But he knew when, joke around with the guys, he'd tell us stories. We'd have a lot of laughs. I mean, that's a time in my life that I'll never forget, hanging out with him.
Yeah, he's done a fantastic job there at PC. Won the Big South regular season this year, but came up short in the tournament. Visiting with Dalton Reeves, USC catcher, for a few more minutes. So, hey, things happen very quickly after you guys finished up in Raleigh on Sunday. You come home. And then Monday, Coach Kingston is fired as the head coach. What was your reaction when you heard that news? Could you see it coming as things were playing out in Raleigh? Did you have any kind of sense of something coming?
I wouldn't say I really saw it coming. I mean, I thought we had a lot of success throughout the season. I mean, obviously there was a lot of talk about it, but I mean, we didn't really let it affect us at all. I mean, King was our head coach. He was our guy. We were going to battle for him every day of the week, and it was very kind of a weird situation when we got back and we found out. And I mean, I all my prayers out to him. I mean, he's a great guy. I love him as a coach, and I mean, he brought me to Carolina. He's one of the guys that got me here, and so I mean, I'm sure he'll be fine. He's a great coach. I mean, he'll figure it out. But I mean, prayers out to him. I love him. He's a great guy. I'll keep up with him as long as I can. And so, but I mean, just kind of how college coaching is, I guess. It's brutal, honestly. It really is. But I mean,
is it? Can you wrap your head around it? I mean, you guys went to a regional. He took you to 4 regionals. He took the program to 4 regionals in his time there. 2 supers. can you kind of wrap your head around, is that just not enough success, you think, in today's world, especially a place like South Carolina? I guess you understand when you're at South Carolina. Did the players kind of understand that you've got to play to a higher standard maybe?
I mean, I guess, yes, sir. I mean, I know the standard around here is, we're trying to go to Omaha. And, I mean, we had every bit of talent and development to do that. We just came up short. It's not on any one person. I mean, we didn't hit when we needed to. We didn't pitch when we needed to. We didn't field when we needed to. I mean, sometimes that's just baseball. But, I mean, I wouldn't peg that on any one person or any one coach. I mean, that's a collective effort, and we were all striving to go to Omaha, but we just came up short, man. I mean, to host the regional last year, and we went to the regional this year. They went to a super last year. I mean, I thought that we were building up. We were getting back to where we needed to be. So, I mean, it's just kind of a weird situation.
Yeah. Well, I've seen some of the players and recruits, they've come out in support of Monty Lee to be the next guy there. Do you have a feeling, you have an opinion about what you would like to see happen there? What are your thoughts on what you're hearing about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I've tweeted out that, Monty Lee has my vote. I love Monty. He was one of the biggest reasons I came to Carolina. I mean, he's a diehard Gamecock. He loves this program, and he loves the players. And, I mean, there's nobody more deserving or more fit for the position. I mean, the guys have already, voiced their opinion. Like, we're going to battle for Monty. And, I mean, he rallied us all year last year as well. I mean, he's one of the best coaches in my opinion. I mean, he develops us like nobody else. And so, I mean, I think Monty, deserves that shot, and, I think he's going to bring a lot of success if he does get it.
Yeah. Can you kind of tell us a little bit more, like inside, if you feel comfortable saying so, about, like, how strong is it among the returning players, those who can return to South Carolina? How strong would you say the feeling is that they want Monty to be the next head coach? Can you share that with us?
Yes, sir. I won't really go into much detail just because it's kind of an interior thing. But, I mean, I know there's a lot of support for Monty. And, I mean, I know everybody returning would go to war for him. And so, I mean, I really don't think that there's anybody else more deserving than Monty Lee.
Sure. All right. So you played Clemson and you played Florida. Had better success this year against Florida than you did against Clemson. Who do you like in that super regional up there at Clemson this weekend?
I don't want to say Clemson because I don't like Clemson. But I mean, that's a really good ball club. They're hot right now too, and I know Florida's hot as well. So I mean, it's really anybody's game. But I mean, it's tough to go into Doug Kingsmore and come out with a win, especially when it's a series at that capacity. I mean, I see probably the Tigers coming out of it, but I mean, it's really anyone's game at this point. I mean, postseason baseball is absolutely insane. So
it is. It's one hop here or bounce there. It can make all the difference in the world, as you well know. Before we let you go, and thank you for being with us once again. Great stuff. Tell everybody about your well, it's not a camp like you said. You're teaching your skill. You want to meet individually with youngsters and work with them. What's the best way to get in touch with you?
Yes, I mean, I made a couple posts on Instagram. It's at JDReed32, and then on Twitter is _JDR5. And so I have a post on there with all my contact information, as well as you can feel free to send me a message on those platforms as well. And I'm willing to work with anybody that's interested. I really just want to kind of connect with the community and give back in any kind of way that I can.
Are you basing this in Columbia, or are you willing, because this show goes around the state, are you willing to go around the state and meet with people, or are you looking to base out of Columbia?
Right now I'm basing out of Columbia. I'm going to be in Body Shop Athletics. It's over in Lexington, actually, but I'm working on some details about being able to do some virtual coaching and that kind of deal. So once I get that all collective, because I've already had people reach out to me from other parts of the state, like, can we do online kind of deal? Mm-hmm. So I'm still trying to get the details with that, and as soon as I get that hammered down, I'll put that out to my platforms as well.
Very, very good. Well, listen, thank you for being with us. Hopefully we've been able to help get the word out for you. Anything we can do to help spread the word of what you got going on, you let us know. Love to talk to you again somewhere down the road, so keep in touch.
Appreciate it, Dalton.
Yes, sir. Thank you all so much.
Thank you. Okay, Dalton Reeves. I admire that kid because, like he said, he came up Hey, nothing wrong with Erskine baseball. They have a very good baseball program, and of course PC as well. But he came up from the grassroots, you could say, and worked his way up to the big time and made himself into a player with the Gamecocks, an exceptional player, a major contributor to their program.